University of Michigan drops diversity statement requirement after faculty survey. The University of Michigan announced Thursday it will no longer require applicants for faculty jobs, promotion, and tenure to submit statements on their commitment to diversity. I feel like the fact that if you wanted to be considered for a faculty job, a promotion, or tenure, that you had to submit a written statement on your commitment to diversity is like some real fucking dystopian cult shit. Like, that is actually insane that this was even a thing that was happening in the first place. Axel Jess and thank you for the 5. Kirsche is thick. When she walks, her cheeks applause instead of clap. True. True. Still need to do that as a PhD student. That's insane. That is insane. Like, we're not going to give you a promotion or your tenure unless you submit to our cult. Are you in it to win it, baby? Because if not, get the fuck out. Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of tenure? Well, no, if they want to stack the board with only people who agree with them so they can continue their ideological revolution, it makes sense from their perspective. Provost Lori McCauley made the decision following a recommendation from an 8-member faculty group, according to the school. That group reviewed public literature on the topic and analyzed nearly 2,000 responses to a faculty survey on the matter. Most responding faculty agreed that diversity statements put pressure on faculty to express specific positions on moral, political, or social issues, the university said of the survey. Slightly more disagreed than agreed that the diversity statements allow an institution to demonstrate a commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion by cultivating DEI in the faculty. I hate these people. Please give us the statement of commitment to St. Floyd of the Fent. The diversity statements were criticized for the way they potentially limit freedom of expression and diversity of thought on campus. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are 3 of our core values at the university. Our collective efforts in this area have produced important strides in opening opportunities for all people. McCauley wrote in a statement on the school's decision. As we pursue this challenging and complex work, we will continuously refine our approach. So it's like, we're not gonna require that you submit a cult doctrine if you want to get a promotion, but we're still committed to the tenets, so we're probably gonna side-eye you if you don't submit one anyway. Oh my god, potentially was doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Although the university had not previously issued strict rules about requiring diversity declarations, it noted they arose due to a decentralized and heterogeneous culture surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts on campus. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Shouldn't your goals as a university be to educate your students? The education systems have been subverted for many decades. They have not been about truly educating students for a very long time. They have been about the slow input of Marxist ideals and indoctrination. And again, like, don't just take my word for it. You can listen to Yuri Bezmenov warning us about this in the 80s, and he basically predicted everything that we are living through today. It's kind of fascinating, actually. It means it arose because there was no diversity of thought among the people in charge doing it or the people affected by it. Commies have been infiltrating since the 60s. I would say even before then, honestly. You know how teabagging has noticed to do with the teabags? Apply that to education. Commies will call Bezmenov a CIA plant or something. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Trump is buying Greenland to send all the crazies to. Don't fill up Greenland. They have beautiful nature. Education should include the training to think critically. They don't do that anymore. I mean, even when I was in school, we had like the No Child Left Behind policy. And the No Child Left Behind just made everything worse for everyone. Like, if a child is struggling with something, they should get extracurricular help, not hold back the entire class to their level. Well over 100 years. Yeah, it's been a long fucking time. No. Critics of diversity statements perceive them as expressions of personal identity traits, support of specific ideology or opinions on socially relevant issues, and serve as a litmus test of whether a faculty member's views are politically acceptable. The faculty group's report reads, thus, as currently enacted, diversity statements have the potential to limit viewpoints and reduce diversity of thought among faculty members. The working group also recommended that the school incorporate DEI content into research and service statements and provide faculty members with training on how to write these materials. The university did not implement those recommendations, it said. What a fucking wild thing to read. Incorporate DEI content into research and service statements. Yeah, that research won't be flawed at all, dude. Holy shit. The provost's office will continue to work with campus leaders and faculty to identify ways to help foster a welcoming and inclusive environment in classrooms, labs, and performance spaces. The move comes amid sweeping changes to diversity initiatives across higher education. The University of Kentucky and University of Nebraska in August each disbanded their diversity offices. I doubt that their diversity officers or the people who are working in the diversity offices went anywhere. They have probably just renamed and rebranded. Other schools have also abandoned their diversity statement requirements this year, such as Harvard and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. There's a single comment. The idea of diversity is destroying the USA. We are the United States of America. True. Stand united. And what I thought was interesting is, once again, we have all of these articles telling us how the younger generations want this stuff, how this is like imperative to the younger generation of people. And, you know, everyone in chat is typically like, I don't know anyone who fucking wants this shit. I don't know anyone who wants this shit. I have a video. We'll watch the video after we watch these dicks. I'm loving this. Kyle and Lass, thank you for those 5,000 fucking dick biddies. Thank you. Thank you for the dick biddies. Thank you for the dick biddies. Young people are dumb. Who cares what they want? It's more when these people say that they need this and they want this, the DEI practitioners, the priests of the cult, if you will take even the small amount of people saying that it's necessary and they need it and promote it by megaphone and amplify it and be like, this is what this generation wants. This is why you have to sell your products this way. This is why you have to change these things in your movies and your TV shows and your video games. This is what they want, so give them what they want. It's just another way of being able to push their ideology because they've indoctrinated some of these people so fully that they are true believers in the cause. Hold on, it's muted. Hold on, it's muted.
It's not a great idea.
I guess when you hear the word DEI, it definitely raises a lot of controversy.
It's not a great idea.
It's a shame that DEI has been removed.
I feel like it's trying to force students to come in not based on their merits, instead just putting them in based on how they look.
The university just killed diversity statements. They were using that in the hiring process. Just what do you think about that? What's your initial reaction?
I mean, it's definitely something to think about. I guess when you hear the word DEI, it definitely raises a lot of controversy just because of the way how perhaps some people are using it over others. I think there definitely still needs to be steps taken to make sure that minorities are still seen on campus.
What does she mean by steps need to be taken to make sure minorities are still seen on campus? What does that even mean? What did you mean by this? She learned the word salad. And it's like these are the people as well, right? Like the ones who aren't entirely on board and know that something is like a little bit wrong, where they're just like, yeah, the way DEI, is being implemented right now can do some harm, but like DEI in and of itself is a good thing, right? Like we need these good things because like diversity and inclusion are good things. These are the people who are unable to perceive breakfast. They are unable to understand that the language is being subverted. When these DEI practitioners talk about diversity and inclusion, they do not mean the definition of diversity and inclusion as most normal people would know them. And so these people are very easy to trick into convincing that the DEI is a good thing if only it is implemented the right way. True DEI has not yet been tried, comrade. But I did have breakfast.
but that also doesn't mean limit the opportunities of people just because they're of a certain race and not of another.
That
don't
is
think it's a good
literally
thing.
what DEI
Even
is.
behind the kind of tough debates about whether DEI is actually working or not, I think it's a decision that should be made by the greater UMich community. So that includes like faculty, students, and staff, not just the regents.
I think it's great. I really don't feel that is necessary. I feel like students just are great how they are, and we don't need to have people being selected by race or gender or anything like that. We're just unique students as we are.
Black
I can't tell if
students
he's
have told
cold
the
or
New York
nervous.
Times that the DEI efforts were artificial. One of them said that it wasn't enough. Just what do you think about the Black Student Union's remarks in that regard?
I agree, but yeah, I agree. Because I mean, it's a statement. Like, you can't legislate. Someone told me once you can't legislate love, but I mean, but you can. I don't know, start to change in ways that from like people that have like a sort of ethos, like kind of.
What? DEI efforts don't go far enough. You can't legislate love, but you can start trying. What? I don't understand. What is that? He's using words.
Credibility of a way a society should like develop.
I agree with that. I feel like it's trying to force students to come in not based on their merits, instead just putting them in
This
based
guy's
on
kinda
how they
cute.
look or whatever other aspects, and it's not quite a representation of students for truly their personalities or their abilities, and just instead appearances.
I get their point. I think it makes sense, but I think a lot of them
Oh no, he's gay.
would also agree that eliminating any form, this kind of any kind of top-down removal or defunding of things is not good for the community.
Wait, why? Why, if something is bad for the community, if top-down defunding would fix it, why would it be bad to top-down defund it? What is like, you can't just blanket say that top-down defunding of anything would be bad for the community. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't, please consider shaving.
So I'm aware, I personally have not interacted very much with the school's DEI programs. I'm not sure if it was just because it was not pushed out or if there was just little amounts of it. So I guess there's that.
Do you think the university would be more or less inclusive now that they're tackling these DEI issues?
The way that they're tackling it, definitely not.
Personally, I mean, I
What?
hope it's more inclusive. I don't know exactly what they're changing, but I'm hoping they're finding a way to bring more opportunities, especially in like all fields where it may not be DEI may not be well represented.
People try to find ways of being inclusive and enacting on.
Yeah, that guy with the ramen hair had crazy eyes, man. I couldn't even, like, he was really low for some reason. So I was trying to focus on what he was saying, but his eyes kept distracting me. Dude looked insane.
Those beliefs. So just because it's not a thing that we have to submit to, people won't stop. And I think that's a good thing.
I think more inclusive because people will be less likely to assume someone's here because of non-valid reasons, but instead based
True.
on their own merits.
I
True.
think their amount of inclusiveness probably won't change more or less, just because if they are going to be inclusive, they probably are already doing that. If they're not going to be inclusive, then they're already doing that. Like, I mean, the wording, it's just the wording that keeps changing. So,
At least she's kind of
I just
aware of that.
think it's really a matter of what will the experience be like in the years come. And yeah, I think that'll speak more than anything else than them just putting out statements.
That's a little wild that some of the students are worried about the lack of the DEI initiatives. The video is, oh, I don't care about Neil Cavuto. It's a University of Michigan students frets over termination of DEI statements. That's an interesting thing to say. The experience in this year's come. What? Can we get a happy birthday to Jesus? Happy birthday, Jesus. What is happening with the videos here? That's going crazy. Freaking out over here. Not an FBI, thank you for the 5. Don't let this DEI talk make you forget that Pecora bought a fucking monkey! She did. She did buy a fucking monkey.